This video is brought to you by the Golf Gypsy, exploring Western Australia's country golf courses.
Here we are at Sanctuary with my mate Gav. He's hitting off first. My drive went right down into the trees. Not a bad lie. I took 5-iron but wasn't able to progress it very far. My next shot fell short of the green by about 50 metres. I then chipped over the back but managed to roll a putt in from the marker you'll see on the screen and take a bogey. So a really lucky start to begin the round.
So we move on to the second hole. A little bit of water down the left that encroaches onto the fairway. We have Gav teeing off once again. Gav managed to push this one to the right in the trees, whereas I found the fairway. And you can see there that Gav's just off to the right. He can do nothing more than chip out. The watch said 124 metres to go, so I took an 8-iron and hit the ball quite well, bouncing on the back of the green and rolling off the back, leaving me with a short little chip up to the hole. I managed to get reasonably close, potentially in the 1 or 2 putt range, and Gav was able to get up and down also for a bogey. So after 2 holes, bogey start for me.
The first of the par 5s at Sanctuary. My drive went right into the trees. I had a clear shot and punched a 4-iron to the other side of the fairway. Gav was going okay down the left-hand side, and by the time I approached my ball, I saw that I had 150 to go, which I decided to use a 7-iron. This approach shot landed short, and I putted then for a birdie, but left it short and ended up 3-putting for a bogey 6. We now get a chance to look at the first of the par 3s. This one's about 155 metres, and I decided to hit a 7, but pushed it quite right into the dead grass area there. My chipping's not too strong, so I took putter and tried to run it up and over the hill, but managed to finish quite wide and quite short. I then took 2 putts for bogey. The 5th hole was a long par 4. I took the tiger line down that left-hand tree line there, and my drive landed in the middle of the bunker. I then yanked a 7-iron short and left into those trees behind the green that you can see now. The approach shot went long, and I hit 2 putts for a bogey. Gav Duck hooked his drive left and went out of bounds. He then re-hit from the tee and made birdie. I hit down the middle, hit my 8-iron over the back, chipped up to the green and took 2 putts for a bogey, so that's my 6th bogey in a row. The 7th hole is the second of the par 3s on the course, around about 170 metres from the blue tees. I managed to hit a hybrid pin high on the green and make my 2 putts for my first par of the day, and 3 points for the Stableford comp. The wheel started to fall off for me here on the 8th. I hit my drive in the fairway bunker with Gavin. I took 6-iron out and put it in the middle of the fairway, trying to play safe. I actually windied the next 3 wood, trying to smack it down the middle, and then followed that up with hitting the ball left of the green for 4. Chip over a bunker saw me thin my chip shot over the back of the green, and then I pulled up short with my chip and took another 3 putts and wiped the hole, which was an absolute disaster considering where I had been for 2 shots. For the 9th hole, dogleg left, I struck my ball okay and it went down the right-hand side. I took a 3-wood out to try and bash it as far down the fairway as I could and made good contact. I was left with about 55 metres to the green and duffed the pitching wedge. My 4th shot pulled up reasonably close and I managed to roll the putt in for a bogey. Got out of jail there for sure. Nine holes down, we're now entering into the back 9. We are getting stuck behind other golfers, so the pace of the golf is slowing down quite a bit. I managed to hit a good drive down the middle, 122 out, pitching wedge went over the back of the green, had a nice chip and 2 putted for bogey. The 11th hole was a real strategic hole with water at the end of your driving area and the bailout area left. Any drives that go right are in this zone here where the fenced pump is. Because it interfered with my stance and my swing, I was able to take a free drop. And as you can see, the drop zone was around to the left. From memory, I was about 122 metres out, so I decided that 9-iron should be enough club to get me there. And even though the corner of the fence was in the way, I still had sufficient clearance to be able to hit to the green. The ball landed up against the rake marker, so I had to take a further drop in the bunker. The bunkers are quite wet, and I hit it out quite strong. Meanwhile, Gav was doing okay out of the bunkers himself. My shot from the bunker went through the green. I then chipped and 2 putted for a bogey 6. Not really a good hole considering where I'd landed my drive. This was my worst hole for the day. I hit a duffed drive right into the trees and Gav pulled 2 into the water, so we both weren't starting too well. I had to chip sideways and then decided to take driver from the deck to be just short of this bunker. The chip went into the bunker and then the chip out of the bunker went long, and I ended up taking a wipe in this hole. The shortest hole on the course is the 13th. I hit 8-iron from the tee and tugged it left. This gave me a chip over the bunker, which I was able to do successfully, and 2 putt for a bogey. This short par 5 has a dog leg to the right and lots of bunkering on the corner. I topped my drive but recovered with a really good 3-wood very close to the green. Here we are driving past Gav, who drove into the fairway bunker and then chipped short out of the bunker and then hit another short shot into the green. As you will see, as we approach my ball, we're probably about 40 metres from the pin. I wanted to guarantee getting on the green and putting for birdie, so I decided to take putter and just run it up to the flag. I had a makeable birdie putt, but unfortunately left it short. But all the same, a great par. The 15th hole was a long par 4 that heads back towards the clubhouse. Gav had the honours on this tee and drove well, just reaching the fairway bunker and just tickling in. My ball was also well struck from the tee, and I managed to land in the middle of the fairway not far from where Gavin's landed. Here's a view of the hole as we approach the landing area for our tee shots. Upon reaching my ball, I found I was about 175 metres from the green, and I decided to take a hybrid to try and get up towards the back half of the green area. Unfortunately, I dragged it short and left, which was in those trees you can see to the left-hand side there. When I arrived at my ball, I found that it was sitting pretty good, but behind some trees, and the only way out was to chip sideways. I duffed the chip and also hit the next chip shot too far over the back, taking 3 putts to get down and eventually wiping the hole. This is a great dogleg par 5 with an island for the second shot. I hit my drive down the middle of the fairway and almost ran out of room, just sitting just short of the water. The ball was sitting up nicely, so I decided to hit my 3-wood and absolutely monstered it. You can see in this video looking back from where I hit it to where it landed, which was just short of the green. I managed to roll the ball up pretty close to the hole and knock the putt in for my first birdie for the day. This is the last of the par 3s. At about 155 metres, I decided to hit my 7-iron, but hit it short and fat, just narrowly missing the water. My chip up to the green was not too bad, but certainly wasn't in 1-putt range. Gav managed a good green in reg, and here he is putting for birdie, which just fell slightly short. So par for Gav and bogey for me. The final hole is the 18th with water to the left and to the right. Both Gav and I put our drives in the water. Gav actually put 4 in the water and I think was hitting 7 from the tee in the end. Couple of duffs and not very well executed shots. Left me with a putt for bogey, but I 3-putted and took a 7. So even though we had one stroke here, I really wasted it by just getting a 7 for 1. But good enough to secure the win, and really enjoyed the round here at Sanctuary today despite the slow play. So thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed listening to A Round with the Golf Gypsy.